Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. I wish I could be there with you on the show today, but as you now know, I am aboard a U.S. delegation to Europe where we are working on carrying out President Trump's agenda to end the Third World War and the kinetic arm of it, which took place in Ukraine. So we've got a lot going on the European continent this very week, and President Trump's envoys are here to see that that agenda is implemented and put into place. So you've got right now Pete Hegseth. He is reviewing the troops. You've seen, of course, those videos going viral across X this morning, actually going out and conducting PT with the troops, going and working with them, having a great time, but also meeting and understanding their morale, their issues, the issues of the warfighter, and the issues of EUCOM, European Command in Stuttgart, Germany. J.D. Vance in Paris, then Vice President Vance will be sent off to the Munich Security Conference. Remember, the Munich Security Conference is basically the Davos for the military-industrial complex. This is the place where Kamala Harris went as a vice president, sitting vice president in 2022, just 3 years ago at the MSC in Munich, telling them that Ukraine will become a NATO member. Then, of course, just a few weeks later, what happened? The Russian tanks rolled into Ukraine just after Vice President Harris said all that. So now Vice President Vance is going to be coming along with a very different message. No more World War III. And that's going to be put down, and he's going to drop the hammer just later this weekend. Bloomberg is reporting now that President Trump has dispatched also his Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, to visit Kiev as Trump seeks minerals. And essentially what it looks like, according to this report, is that the deal could potentially hinge on access in return for aid. And what they're talking about is these vast deposits of uranium, titanium, lithium that are within Europe. And the deal that President Trump is attempting to put together is essentially this: a way for the American people to benefit from ending the war, but also to recoup some of the loans that have been made from the United States, not were made under Trump, but were made under the previous administration, to be able to recoup some of that for the American people. Now, President Zelensky had told reporters in Kiev earlier on Monday, so he said yesterday that he was planning to meet with a serious delegation from the Trump administration in Ukraine before the Munich Security Conference, which begins this Friday. And Zelensky has said, now he wants to cut a deal. He says, we want to do a deal. He said this to Reuters, and said that he wants this U.S. backing in exchange for some of Ukraine's rare earth minerals as well as other minerals. Here's what we're talking about: significant reserves, uranium, critical minerals like titanium, lithium, graphite. The estimates could be in the trillions of dollars. Mike Waltz, the national security director, said to NBC's Meet the Press, we need to recoup these costs, and that is going to be a partnership with the Ukrainians in terms of their rare earths, their natural resources, and their oil and gas, and also potentially seeing an economic deal where they are purchasing LNG from the United States to move forward. Again, this is about the conditions for peace, setting the conditions for peace, setting up a lasting peace between the United States, Ukraine, Russia, NATO, one by which not everyone is going to be happy. Remember, I said this yesterday, 80% is the most you're going to get out of this. You're not going to get 100%. There's going to be things that other sides don't like. But when you have a negotiation and everybody walks away with a little bit of chagrin, a little bit disappointed, that is what you're going to want. So President Trump won the election decisively. His envoys are here in Europe. And myself, your humble host, Human Events Daily, is riding along with them to bring you directly into the heart of the action, these negotiations. We know how NATO is certainly going to respond when Secretary Hegseth arrives on Wednesday to drop the hammer there, then VP Vance going over to the Munich Security Conference itself. This is the heart of globalism, but President Trump is sending his top aides and his top assets over: Hegseth, Vance, Bessent. He's going over it because these are the people who understand you can't end this thing with one side winning, with one side losing. You're going to end this thing where the winners are the American people. That is our goal. America first is the goal. Peace is the prize. MAGA world peace will commence.